Today's episode of Necronomipod is brought to you by Beardology. There are a lot of imitators out there, but there's only one place I buy my beard oil. Beardology beard oil nourishes your skin and won't leave you with that greasy feel. With over 17 cents available in their extensive product line, I trust my beard to Beardology. You can find Beardology at beardology.co. Use code NECRO15 to receive 15% off your purchase. Beardology. Discover the best way to avoid the shave. Bonus episode.
You're sticking with that, huh?
I think I'm going to go with it. I think it works.
Yeah.
Gets people fired up. People are right now driving in their cars, like hitting the gas pedal even harder because I just got them fired up.
Or turning the channel.
Yeah, maybe turning us off and putting on fucking Joe Rogan or somebody with, actual credentials. So we're talking about gangs today, right? The Bloods, the Crips.
No, we're gonna.
Oh,
is this where the gangs drive down the street and turn their headlights off, and if you flash your brights at them, then they kill you?
Well, we're gonna see there is a tactic down in here about brighten people and with their lights and whatnot.
so it's gang stalking.
Yeah, so it's a relatively new phenomena where there is this huge internet community of people that think that they are constantly being followed and harassed by people.
So they're like paranoid that people are following them or harassing them.
Right, and they have, like on YouTube and stuff, they have tons of examples of what they think is happening to them.
Sure.
I mean, is it real or is it paranoid schizophrenia type stuff?
Well, yeah, we'll get into it towards the end. I have a theory about what I think is going on with some of this. But there's a lot of websites out there like stopgangstalking.org, and I pulled this stuff from stopgangstalkingcrimes.com, which I sent you a picture of that website, or I've sent both of you guys a picture of that website. It was fucking garbage.
It looks like all of those old corny UFO websites and what is it, freaking Heaven's Gates website, where it's just neon colors.
Right.
It looked like a clown threw up on the screen, and there's neon lights like blinking at your eyes, and your retinas are burning trying to read what it's saying.
Like somebody just learned HTML2 back in 1997.
And going through it, it was so chaotic. It was definitely made by someone that was very paranoid of something happening in their lives. So the definition of gang stalking from this website is: gang stalking is an umbrella term describing a series of techniques utilized by a group to instill mental instability within a victim with the intent to discredit, sabotage, harass, extort, or even drive a victim to suicide. A victim of gang stalking can have their reputation, credibility, careers, relationships, and entire life put into ruins.
And that's written and developed by, quote, victims of gang stalking.
Right.
Okay.
Well, are we going to get gang stalked ourselves for exposing gang stalking, I guess is my fear at this point.
Bring it on, motherfuckers.
Okay, you're fearless.
Nope. Yep. I don't care about that.
So people that say that they're victims of gang stalk, they call themselves TIs, stands for targeted individuals.
Was T.I. himself a victim of gang stalking?
Yeah, is that
was
what
he
that
popping bottles all night and giving whatever you like, and someone didn't like it?
It did seem like his rise to fame kind of coincided with the rise of gang stalking.
Yeah, it's around the same time.
Right? Coming up in the 2000s. Just saying.
Isn't he in jail? Or is he out of jail?
T.I.?
Yeah.
I'm not up on my hip hop.
I didn't know he was in jail.
Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
For sex so wet and so tight.
Or maybe
You can have whatever you like.
Maybe I'm thinking of DMX.
DMX just got out of jail.
Yeah. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
I don't think T.I. was in jail. I like T.I.
It does not look like he's in jail. You can keep going.
I stand corrected. So the common belief among this community as to why a normal everyday person would have this happen to them is that it's the government testing out these tactics on people before they go after a real target. So a real target for the government would be like a whistleblower or someone that could pose a threat to secretive information,
So
something like that.
Doing field testing on the general public?
Right.
Has Art Bell talked about this much? I feel like this would be right up his alley.
This wasn't around when Art Bell was...
Well, but I mean the show even, Coast to Coast.
I think Coast to Coast did do an episode with a guy that wrote a book on his experiences with being gang stalked.
I'd be interested in listening to that.
I was going to plug our Art Bell episode, but it's no longer the least listened to anymore. So that being said, go listen to Mothman 2, motherfuckers.
It was a great episode. Nobody loved it. They loved it even less than they wanted your signed photo.
I wasn't going to bring that up anymore.
Some people thought that you were serious about that.
I was still, I mean, we can get photos made. When we get our website up, we will sell 8x10s.
Look, stop complaining about it. No one wants your goddamn picture.
Maybe I'll start selling my senior photo pictures. People would love those.
I don't think they would.
They're not great people. My high school senior photo pictures are not great.
So the people that are doing this to them, gang stalking, the victims of gang stalking call these people perps. And these perps have a ton of different tactics that they use against these people. So I pulled these ones from StopGangStalkingCrimes.com too, because it was the most thorough and well put together, if you could believe that, from looking at that website.
So like a breakdown of all the different ways that people feel they're victims of gang stalking.
Right, like what would be used against them.
Okay. These were expert witnesses compiled from the field, right?
Right.
Eyewitness accounts. Yeah. Okay.
So the first one they had on there was called baiting, and it says that it's to deliberately annoy or taunt someone.
So my wife is a gang stalker? I had no idea. I'm just kidding. Sorry. Go on.
It says it's a provocative act used to solicit an angry, aggressive, or emotional response from another individual, lure a victim into environments or situations which cause further problems to a victim. So I don't really...
Yeah, that sounds like baiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good definition of baiting. I don't know how it necessarily affects these random people.
Yeah. I don't know if, like, someone just says some shit to you while you're walking down the street.
I mean, that happens to me every day. I mean, I'm getting gang stalked.
Someone talks shit to you.
You're an asshole.
Someone annoys me even. I might, I could just assume they're doing it deliberately and say I'm getting gang stalked.
I could bait you right now. NASCAR, that's not a sport at
See,
all.
I'm a victim.
NASCAR drivers aren't athletes.
See, he's gang stalking me right now, but I'm not going to give into it. So brighting.
Yeah, this is going to the headlights with cars. It says this involves a vehicle parked on the roadside with headlights on, facing the subject as he or she walks or drives by. The car may then drive away just after the subject sees the truck or car to further target the subject. A parked vehicle with headlights on in front of the subject's house that drives away when the subject looks out the window. An oncoming car with high beams on in a location where they should not be used and are not dimmed.
So traffic.
Yeah.
Traffic.
We normally just call those people assholes, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
if you drive with your high beams on, you're an asshole, just so you know. If another car is coming your direction, turn them off if another car is coming at you.
And the thing I was talking
see.
about earlier was the whole gang initiation thing. Like, do you remember that? Where supposedly you would people would have their headlights off and you would flash them and then they would kill you.
I think I
As a
remember
gang
hearing
initiation.
about, yeah.
That's what I came to mind when I heard gang stalk. But clearly this is not what we're talking about.
That's a much more intense and cooler story than these people talking about getting just lights flashed at them and getting all pissed off about it.
Yeah, I mean, in speaking of the cars, there's videos on YouTube of people driving around there, like holding their cell phone up filming, and they're like, look at all these perps, and they're saying, like, the one guy was saying red cars, and every red car he sees, he's saying it's harassing him, it's these people following him and stuff.
Only red cars.
That guy was having an
he
issue
hated
with red cars.
I don't like red cars myself. I can get into that.
I don't love red cars either.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm gonna get a car, it's gonna be like a dark black, a blue, a gray, a green. Maybe not even a dark green. I don't even know if I'll get that, but
Dark green?
maybe like a forest green. Back in the day, my first car was a Chevy Cavalier, and I debated between like the dark green and the dark like navy blue.
What did you go with?
The blue. It was the right call to make.
Sounds like it. They another tactic is cyber stalking, and I copied and pasted this. I'm not reading all this because this has like laws and shit in here, but they're saying it's the use of the internet and other electronic means to stalk, harass an individual, group, or organization.
Like a cyberbullying almost.
Yeah.
Like in this day and age, I think everyone knows what
Twitter
cyber stalking-
troll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Like Ben Franklin would have been a cyber stalker after the way he was fucking trolling leads in the Jersey Devil episode.
Right.
Ben Franklin would have been a cyber stalker and a Twitter troll.
The original troll.
This fucking almanac predicting somebody's death and then mocking them when they died.
Congratulating his ghost after
Seriously.
he died.
For stopping the rivalry.
So it's going off the rails a little more here. Directed energy weapons. They consider these voice to skull, remote neural monitoring, energy focusing systems, engine disabling. So I guess that's like your car stopping. I don't know. Electronics failure, electronic radiation like microwaves, electromagnetics, and others.
Well, that sounds interesting.
This is getting into the level of putting like tinfoil up on your walls and not really, it's getting a little intense. So voice to skull, they say is a microwave auditory effect, also known as the microwave hearing effect or Fray effect, to transmit sounds and thoughts into their heads as a form of electronic harassment, referring to technology as voice to skull or V2K. So,
But isn't this... I mean, we joke, but isn't this the stuff that was happening to the Cuban embassy employees a couple years ago?
I don't know that story.
Where they were suffering headaches and other side effects that they thought were like targeted microwave rays from the Cuban government? Do you remember that?
So you think they were gang stalked?
It sounds exactly like what happened.
I know that they have the like the sound, like the crowd control things using sound, but I think
that's real.
I mean, I think that the technology is real, but do I think that they're doing it to
Ordinary
some
civilians?
random person sitting
Probably
in their
not.
house or walking around?
Unless they're testing it. But look that up.
Yeah.
That sounds exactly like what's happening in Cuba.
Yeah, no, it's
I just don't I don't know if this is happening to random people walking around.
Right.
the remote neural monitoring. They said it's a defense system using satellite relayed electro optics to think laser imaging.
So is the remote monitoring like the remote viewing? Because then we're gang stalkers. Or at least Dave is. With Olivia Wilde.
Well, this says it's like learning. It's like learning algorithms.
I learned the algorithm of Herb Blumpkin on Jason Sudeikis, and it was
very true.
awesome.
I think, Dave, you've gang stalked.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah, it sounds like that one is just like learning how this stuff affects someone's brain.
So again, these are all just different things that these victims of gang stalking allegedly think random people do to them.
Right. What is being done to them.
It's just a very odd, weird story, so I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah, they think that there's drugging going on.
Well, that happens probably.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people are drugged and don't want to be.
Roofied.
Roofied.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, is that you're getting roofied. They go back into electronic harassment with like the radio frequencies, stuff like that. Humiliation, like the character assassination. If you speak out to get help, you're perceived as being mentally ill, which...
So like... Speaking out to get help, what do you mean by that?
So
like to get help from gang stalking or to get help in general?
Yeah, so a good example is like the Vice thing where this guy thought he was being gang stalked, or I mean he truly believed it, and they went into the police station and he was like, "Do you know of anybody that's following me or have any reason to follow me?" And he kept going with the conversation. They're like, "Well, who's following you? What does it look?" And he really didn't have a solid answer. You'd be perceived as crazy. You'd be like, all right, you don't have a solid answer for me or anything. Sure. So they say that that's a tactic.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, you see that in the plot of every conspiracy movie where try to explain to the authority viewed as mentally ill.
I feel like that's almost every movie at some point. There's some kind of thing where it's like, no, I don't believe you.
Right. Yeah, they have laser lights. Man, this is it says a laser is a device that emits light through a process of optical amplification based on the simulated emission of electromagnetic radiation.
Yeah, that sounds like a laser.
But I don't
What the fuck does it
understand.
have to do with gang stalking?
Maybe they're shining a laser pointer through their windows. I mean,
Well, I used to do that in the car, like when those laser pointers first came out. You shoot it in someone's
You were one of those assholes.
rearview mirror.
Oh my god.
I remember those in school, man. Those were fun.
Oh yeah.
Take those to school and start fucking around.
People get pissed about those.
Yep.
Do you ever see the videos online? There's a video, at least one I've seen, of a Kiss concert, and someone's shining a laser at Paul Stanley, and he gets pissed, stops
Really?
the show, and tells the guy if he doesn't turn that off, he's going to come down there and shove it up his ass. It's really good.
Because he couldn't see the teleprompter to the lyrics, so he could lip sync right.
Maybe so. I don't know. All I know is Paul was pissed. I wouldn't want that 7-inch heel shoved up my ass.
Misdirection is a big one for them.
So like when someone gives me wrong directions,
Yep.
they're gang. Really?
Yeah.
I was making a
No,
joke.
yeah. Like if you
Dude,
like,
so you're a big victim of gang stalking.
Oh, yeah,
you
'cause I
can't
can
get
never-
anywhere.
That was us when you got lost. That was us telling you the wrong.
telling me the wrong
We
way.
gang
directions.
stalked your ass.
When I said I saw the Howard Hanna sign, I didn't know where I was.
We're like, dude, you should not be on that big ass street. You should not be seeing stoplights in our suburban neighborhood.
So they have another one called mimicry, where they say that that people would just basically copy them, like what they're saying, or
Oh, I should have saved my TI bit for this part.
Yeah.
Fuck.
so if they hear you say something, they'll just repeat it back, like just like mimicking you.
Mimicking you. I know you are, but what am I?
I just keep going back to Jim Jones and mother and mother and mother and mother
I think we've had enough Jim Jones to last a lifetime.
Yeah.
and mother. I'm done.
Poor Willie Malone getting beat on. They have called mobbing in the context of human beings means bullying of an individual by a group in any context such as family, peer group, school, workplace, neighborhood, community, or online. That just sounds like it's repeated from earlier tactics.
Or like an intervention from your family.
I mean, at this point, they're. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said I just want to smoke my meth and be left alone. Your family bullying you to go to rehab.
Yeah.
Quit bullying me. Leave me alone. Let me smoke my meth. Motherfuckers.
So this one's real interesting. Is they call it street theater, and it's basically like they're thinking things are like carefully scripted out with people. Like the one guy I saw online was a gay guy, and he said that he was just seeing nothing but straight couples walking by holding hands, and that he was perceiving that as being against him.
Yeah. Like the whole neighborhood's in on this. Too.
Right, to like make him feel uncomfortable.
That's wild.
So this one,
That's what I feel like when everyone in the neighborhood goes to church on Sunday morning, and I'm just sitting on my deck, listening to some Norwegian black metal.
Are you?
Some
Yeah. Are you
coffee.
really that upset about that situation?
No,
Dave?
I'm like, God damn, I'm glad I don't have to go to church like these people.
You're nursing a hangover, drinking black coffee, eating some scrambled eggs and some toast.
Whew, this is way better.
I just made myself hungry, actually.
so this comes directly from them. This is an interesting set of examples here. It says noise, crowding in a person on the highway, stealing items from a shopping cart when in the checkout line, and kids sent to hang out in front, stare, or make noise in front of a victim's house, or by putting strange items on the lawn as a victim drives by, such as a vacuum cleaner.
We should
strange
try this for real.
items on a lawn, not even like a victim's lawn.
Yeah,
right?
no, just
So I'm taking out my trash. Someone thinks I'm gang stalking them.
yeah.
Just to throw, like, that your perception is completely gone, right?
Yeah.
Like, why is there a vacuum cleaner on my neighbor's lawn?
Right. Or like this guy down the street the other day, I saw him dragging a washing machine out to the curb.
And you felt stalked.
Yeah, I did. I felt I was upset by it. No, I felt bad for the garbage guys. I'm like, motherfucker, you need to take that somewhere
I thought
else.
there was a weight limit on what they would take, unless it was one of those special days. Was it one of those?
These guys take everything.
Yeah.
I've gotten a notice before that my trash was too heavy.
They don't like you then because you're an asshole.
They
But
don't
For
like
me,
me.
they take whatever I put out.
They don't like me because I'm a NASCAR fan. And they're,
Now you're being stalked. You're being harassed.
I am.
Is this something we could do to someone in the neighborhood? Put weird shit on our lawn?
No, because most people are like, oh, people are fucking annoying me. They're not going to think they're getting stalked. I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers playing a prank on me.
Can we induce hallucinations in our neighbors?
What would these people think if you TP'd their house? They'd fucking lose their shit.
Yeah, that would probably be the end of the world.
We've done that in this neighborhood, too.
Oh, yeah. Like, that would be brutal to these people. Go ahead. I'll save my thought for the end.
So then they have noise campaigns, which it kind of sounds like before, but they say a noise campaign can range from multiple neighbors routinely playing loud music, individual stalkers with air horns or fireworks, or organized repair work that involves a high level of noise.
So while Dave feels gang stalked that everyone is coordinatingly going to church every Sunday, they all feel gang stalked by the loud Norwegian black metal that's coming from his back deck.
Or
while yelling, curse you fuckers, they feel gang stalked.
Have fun at church.
I thought Annalise was here for a minute. He was just singing.
One could say that on that one Thursday party, there was some gang stalking techniques.
Because there was music.
Yeah. When I got accused of calling the cops a couple years ago.
That's right, when we were yelling at you. You were sitting on your deck. Were you there that night?
I'm not sure.
That was funny.
You guys were blasting Snoop Dogg. Someone called the cops. And
I don't recall, actually, if I'm going to be honest. I don't recall much of that evening.
I think my neighbor's dogs gang stalk me when those little motherfuckers are out there barking all the time.
Yeah, that's true. Can animals gang stalk you? I mean, because they would meet the noise campaign.
I would assume, I guess.
Calling the police.
But realistically, the only real world example of this, because I know this was a tactic by the Russians way back in the day to discredit people and make them feel like they're going crazy. But that was for political reasons. Yeah. But the only real world modern example of it is Scientology, when someone defects or publicly speaks out about them. And they call doing that fair game. And I mean, there's that one document, the BBC did a good one where they were interviewing a guy and they were just going around with flyers with this guy's like criminal history and shit.
All kinds of stuff. Yeah,
I mean
they were following that one guy's wife down in Florida and he ended up punching him.
Yeah,
because
so it was legit gang stalking in that situation.
Yeah, Scientology gets brutal with that.
They're a bunch of fuckers, those Scientologists.
Yeah.
Careful, we're going to get shut down. Scientology's going to bring us down.
They'll knock us off the air?
Maybe we'll do an episode on them one day.
Oh, for sure.
I'd love to shit on them.
They might start stalking you for real.
The worst. Let's do it live in Clearwater, too, because I love Clearwater and I don't like Scientology, so...
Yeah, that's
Is that
where their world headquarters. Yeah, in Clearwater.
Oh, of course it's in Florida. They take the one good spot of Florida and they ruin it with that.
It really is the best place in Florida.
It's not the best. It's the only good place in Florida. That's like filing a pile of shit with $100 bill in it and being like, oh, this $100 bill is the best part of this pile of shit. No, it's the only thing you're going to go in that pile of shit after is that $100 bill. I'm sorry if you're from Florida, but that's just how I feel. And that's my right as an American.
Boom.
Yeah, and like the Scientology stuff, like I said, they get brutal with it, following people. And I know that one guy that was in that newer one. What's that actress's name?
Leah Remini.
Yeah,
I was just gonna bring that up.
They had people move in across the street from the guy and like film him and shit.
Yeah,
like that. I mean, they get really
like filming her, right?
No, filming this guy. That
just 24 hours a day. They had someone in the window.
Yeah,
wouldn't have to do with her though.
It was just her show, like with her interviewing people.
She used to be a Scientologist and she quit and got harassed.
Yeah,
big time. Okay.
Yeah, no, they really do some of this shit, you know. But I think gang stalking is this. I don't think this is happening to just everyday people on the massive scale that shows online. So I did some digging into it, and in 2004 it was basically a non-existent term on the internet, and it started rising and kind of peaked a little bit in 2007 when the first iPhone came out. So because my theory on it was that more widespread internet use was creating this echo chamber of unmedicated people to kind of put their delusions into one thing, and it morphed into a phenomenon. So it kept going up, but not very much, but then it like peaked big time in 2013, and that's when smartphone sales doubled. Like they just fucking shot up, and then it's been on the rise ever since as far as a searchable term. So that's what I think it is. I think it's widespread internet use that's easy to access the internet now, you know.
People with free time and access to the internet.
Plus,
Yeah.
people
That makes sense.
also just being paranoid that like cell phones, people that you can be stalked through a cell phone
Right.
and followed and watched, and the government knows where you are.
Yeah, and I mean, there are hints of truth in some of this stuff with like MK Ultra, the sound weapon, the crowd control.
It's not unheard of.
What's
These
Right.
kinds of things have
MK
happened.
Ultra? Haven't we talked about doing an episode on
Yeah,
that?
it's the government's mind control thing they did back in the 50s
Went
and
on for
60s.
30 years,
Yeah.
right?
And that's how you do a fucking teaser.
But I think it is like this echo chamber of mentally ill people talking and like sharing their common, these delusions that they're having, and then it somehow has morphed into this whole phenomena where it's like they have a name for it now. Like,
Sure.
it's just super interesting to me that something like that can grow and actually turn into something.
Did we find out where the term actually originated? Like Reddit, 4chan, something like that?
No, I know on the paranormal board on 4chan, there's always gang stalking threads with people talking about, what's happening to them, stuff like that.
Well, there's some good YouTube videos we can point people to, right? Because I was just watching one. It's pretty fucking nuts.
Yeah, we can tweet some of those out tomorrow.
Yeah, that one
The
woman
day this is released.
or that Vice documentary is a good one too. Then the other thing I found that was interesting too, looking at all the YouTube videos, was there was a lot of talk of God and stuff, and like God will help you out and stuff. And schizophrenic people lean towards God; they gravitate towards religion.
I didn't know schizophrenic people gravitate towards God.
Yeah, because a lot of them, like when something happens, from what I was reading, when some type of a hallucination or something happens, like they have this, I don't know what you would call it.
Revelation?
Yeah, like this big spiritual moment, and then they link it with religion. So when I was looking at all this stuff, when I was watching a bunch of videos, there was just tons of comments saying, be strong, God will sort this stuff out. And it really seems like it's a just mentally untreated mental illness that is.
So one hallucination leads to another hallucination.
This is definitely, a lot of these people I'm sure have mental illnesses. This also is just literally taking everything that annoys every one of us and trying to slap a label on it,
Right.
and make an excuse. I get fucking annoyed by traffic. I get annoyed by loud noises. I get annoyed by people walking on the street fucking holding hands. Get that PDA out of here. I don't want to see that shit.
Holding hands?
That makes you mad?
That was your excuse for street theater.
Well, that's what the guy's excuse was in the
That was
documentary.
one guy. You don't like people holding hands?
No,
in
I don't want
public?
to see any PDA. Just get out of my face with that. The point is,
And we're not talking about fellatio. We're talking about holding hands.
well, might be all right then. I'm not saying that's wrong. If you want to do that on the middle of the sidewalk, all right. You're not gang stalking me. My point is, they're just taking things that annoy them, traffic, people annoying them online, and just coming up with a label for everything and saying they're victims of something.
Well, and amplifying it 100 times and taking it out of context. Yeah,
I mean, I could see you. Like,
The point is, don't fucking hold hands. Like, just come on. Save that for your house.
You're very angry about hand holding.
Sometimes it's too much.
too much hand holding.
Yeah, sometimes.
I can see where this would turn into something. If you hear people coughing and you get obsessed with that, and you're like, then you start to think that they're doing it on purpose to you. And then you get online, and there's huge forums of these people that are like support systems.
Yeah.
Like the stopgangstalking.org it's like a support website for people that are going through it. So you get on there and you're like, everybody's fucking coughing at me. And they're like,
And they validate your paranoia.
right? And they're like,
Absolutely.
exactly.
And then it increases, and then you just go on, and it expands from there.
Yeah, I just thought it was super interesting how it kind of evolved with the use of the internet.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah.
I never even heard of this.
It makes sense. Yeah, I had not heard of this either. I don't know most of it.
Because I'm always on paranormal forums and stuff and reading shit, and then it's just a couple years ago I started noticing it big time popping up like on some forums daily with tons of people talking about it. I'm like, what the fuck? So
Pretty
that's
fucking
gang
weird.
stalking.
So gang stalking in a nutshell.
Yep.
All right. Dave, you got anything else on this subject or anything else you want to pontificate about?
I do not, but I got some really good ideas on how we can fuck with people. So I think
all
we
in
should
on that.
employ some of those tactics.
I'm all in on the toilet papering idea. We really fucked somebody up with that one. Ian, you got anything else with this one?
Nope, I'm good on gang stalking. I feel bad for anybody that's going going through it and not
I mean, people, yeah, if
not
you're
getting
someone
help.
right. So this will be out on what is the date? On the 25th, correct?
Yeah.
This Saturday, the 27th,
Oh yeah.
furnace party in Philadelphia. We've had multiple people tell us they're going to be around or in the area. We're going to need some people to actually show up and send us some photos
Yeah.
or pictures, and then we can talk about it on Sunday
We have to know.
or in the following weeks if we don't get them in time.
I'm really interested to see what happens.
Yeah, this Saturday, Philadelphia, the 27th.
Get turned into a steel statue, or he said concrete would also work.
So whichever you prefer, maybe. But yeah, if anyone's in the Philadelphia area, go check that out. Let us know. Send us all kinds of photos and videos, and we'll post what we can. All right, you guys good?
Yep.
We'll see you guys Sunday.
See ya.